When the urge comes to speak, one must speak. Do not delay the action of speaking. It's so weird because when I get the creative urge to speak, I do just want to get my phone out and talk. But the problem is, when I do that, there's no structure. There's not even there's a general idea, I would say, as to what I want to say, but it's not shaped. It doesn't have eloquence to it most of the time. There's no structure, there's no real order to it. But then I find that when I actually plan a script and then talk, there's just no heart in it. There's a fine, I think, balance and medium that you've got to find with this stuff. But anyway, without waffling on too much about whatever, I wanted to really speak about the idea that when you, not even when you have so much to give. Like, this entire morning I've been feeling like, why is no one serving me? You know, why is no one doing anything for me? Why aren't they being nice to me? Why aren't they being kind to me? Why aren't they treating me like the king that I am, of course? Why they not treat me like the prince of the world? You know. And then it's not even like I had an epiphany. I know what the right thing is in this state. I know what it is. No one's going to treat you at all anyway the way you want to be treated, unless you do it first. You know, that saying, be the change that you want to see in the world, is the way it is. Whatever you're missing in life, whatever you believe that other people should be giving you, that's your job. Your job is to give that kindness or that love. Your job is to give whatever it is that you're desiring from the other person. Obviously it's a good thing, not a bad thing. It can't be a good thing. It can't be a bad thing. God, I've got to stop these ums and these you knows. These are bad habits. That's the start. The starting position is getting rid of the ums and the yans. But secondly, the starting position is to give that love that you're feeling or that you want to feel from somebody else, because you have it. You have it. It's your job to give. As a man, I'm speaking to the men out there, but I think even the same goes for women who feel like, oh, why aren't the men treating me this way? Why aren't the men nice or good? Doesn't mean be a people pleaser. Have boundaries. Have respect for yourself as a creation of God, just like everybody is. But don't forget the fact that you're not here to be served. Jesus, who, look, I'm not going to put him on a pedestal. I'm not going to sound like a basic Christian who goes off and praises the Lord. I do believe he deserves praise because he was a great man. I'm being objective here. He just was a great man from what he wrote, or what he said. He didn't write anything down. Most great men don't write things down, it seems. Socrates didn't write anything down, nor did Jesus. I wonder who else didn't write anything down who was considered a great man. Don't know if did Krishna write anything down? Buddha didn't write anything down. Buddha spoke. Yeah, so Buddha, Jesus, Socrates, there's a pattern there. They're all prophets. They're all prophets of truth. Divine providence sent all of these people down. And I think the message is fairly clear. You're not here to be served. Krishna even said that you have no entitlements to the fruits of your labor. You have none. All that you are here to do is to give service to God. Consecrated service that is wholeheartedly dedicated to God. And I did not do that today, and I want to do it, to be honest. Well, no, I don't actually want to do it. I want to be honest with you. I actually don't want to do it. I don't feel like doing it today. I don't feel like working for God. I don't feel like sacrificing my own selfish desires for God. I want to bathe in whatever nasty habits I have because they're petty and vermin-like. I think it's the best way to describe it. Vermin-like, petty. Consecrated service to God, the first thing I can think of doing is just, when I'm speaking to people, just really speak to them for their benefit, not mine. You know, don't try and extract any form of validation or value, or trying to get somewhere with someone, or to plant seeds so that so something might lead into something. I mean, this becomes a tyranny of your own thinking. Someone wrote it, Dietrich Bonhoeffer wrote about it in his book, The Cost of Discipleship, that you either submit yourself to the will of God and Jesus, the will of Jesus, he says, but let's just call it the will of God. You either submit yourself to that and the precepts that are written down in the gospel. Jesus' gospel, by the way, I'm still really reserved about the gospel of Paul. It's not gospel, pardon me, blasphemy. The epistles of Paul, I'm a bit hesitant about them. There's nuggets of wisdom in there, obviously, but it's just one of those things where he's trying to be a Messiah himself, I think. I really think Paul himself is trying to be the new Messiah, and he's turned Jesus into a god. Jesus did not ever say that he was the Son of God. He says, you are all sons of God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called sons of God. Isaiah refers to the people who serve God intentfully, will be called the sons of God. We're all described as children of God anyway, because we are born of Adam. This whole idea where Jesus is the Son of God and that Jesus is the only thing in the world that you've got to bow down and worship, this is wrong. This is blasphemy. This is very, very incorrect. That's not Jesus' central message at all. His central message is not worship me. His central message is not bow down to me. It's not to do any of that. Yes, he does say, those who believe in me will reach the way. Right, what he's saying is, trust what I'm saying and do it. He's asking you to do that. He's asking you to listen to his words and go away and practice it in your life and find the kingdom of heaven within you and to have a relationship with the Father. It is not to worship him. People lose the plot when they go into this worship of Jesus, and I think the Muslims are very correct in pointing that out. And again, I'm not going to say I'm a Muslim. I was born a Muslim. I pray 5 times a day. Yes, I read the Quran. Does that make me a Muslim? Sounds like it makes me a Muslim. It does sound like it. But here's the thing. Jesus is the prophet that I follow, though. Like Prophet Muhammad, I've not read too much about the Sharia. I've not read too much about what he says himself. I read the Quran in Arabic. Yes, because I just find it to be a nice practice for me. But Jesus is the prophet that I actually listen to, that I read his words and meditate. And what did I learn today? I learned... Well, he says forgive. He says, for if you forgive men their sins, your Father in heaven will forgive you. But if you do not forgive men their sins, your Father in heaven will not forgive you. So I like that little saying right there. It's calling us to be like God, weirdly enough. Not in an egotistical way, but in a way that's actually very, very hard to forgive others. Right, anyway. That's why I'm hesitant to call myself a Christian, because then it puts me in the category of people who really are a bit weird, in my opinion. I think actual Christians are really weird because they worship Jesus. They actually worship him. They worship the man. And then they say, well, he's not a man, he's actually God. Please, this is the way to disillusion anyone from ever coming towards Christianity or ever coming towards what Jesus said. It blasphemes Jesus' teachings, in my opinion. Jesus' teachings were pure. They were right, they were correct. They are, well, do you know what? These are assumptions that I'm making. I'm asking you to read it yourself. Start with Matthew 5 and go all the way to, I believe, Matthew 5, all the way to Matthew 8. Those are really the core of Jesus' teachings right there. Go and have a look at them. Go and see what he has to say about all of these things that we're speaking about. He teaches us how to live radically, how to live a righteous life. And again, I don't know what the hell righteousness is. I have not the slightest idea of what righteousness is. What I used to think was righteousness has turned out to be ignorance. And what I used to think was ignorance turns out to be actually the best thing ever, in the form of what actually ignorance is. Understanding that you don't know what the hell you're talking about. That is the position you should take in life, not the position, oh, I know what it is. Oh, I know the answer. That's not the position you should take in life. The correct position is, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I have no idea. I don't know what the hell's going on. That's the default position, because you don't. That's the truth. You don't know what's going on. If you assume you know what's going on, you're lying to yourself. You're lying. Right, anyway, I need to go. I need to make a move. I'm gonna get late. My whole day's gonna get late. I will see you in the next one.